state before their bodies were then before their funerals. So that international experience has been shared with us as well. Because remember, with Madiba, this is the first lying in state of a former head of state that we've experienced, that our democracy has experienced. So modern methods of preserving a body, even of caring the body, have had to be observed, and so those who have done it, including the Americans, have had to sort of share their experiences, even though, I mean, locally we do indeed have experts who are able to sort of take charge of these processes. Well, if you've just joined us, you're watching live visuals of people who
look at you in the camera.
We should use one microphone.
Oh, look at you. Oh, look at you at the camera.
Is it fine if we're using different mics? Or okay. Are we pre-recording? Can you take it off? Well, joining us now is Dr. Gerard Kornoff, who is a member of Parliament for the African National Congress. Dr. Kornoff, welcome, and thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Boy.
So you went through that process.
I went through the process, yeah. It was a deeply emotional experience to see this beloved leader of our nation lying in state. For the first time in 50 years, a head of government lying at this union buildings. Next to the coffin was Zweli Mandela. I hugged him. Hugely emotions go through, and he looks beautiful. Tata Madiba looks beautiful. He's at peace, and the emotions is just overflowing. My hero when I was a child was General Christian de Wet, and when he died, there was a saying, "Stil broers, daar gaan 'n man verby." Quiet brothers, a man is passing. And for the first time since I was a child, I had that experience this morning. Quiet brothers, a man is passing.
Just from, did he look any different from the last time we saw him in public? Yes, he will be older. Yes, he will look a bit frail. But has it changed significantly?
He's the same. He's the same. He's the great icon I saw again today. He's beautiful. He's at peace, and It's just so emotionally to see him and to greet him finally. And I would encourage every South African that is in the vicinity of the capital city to come and pay their last respect and see Tata Madiba before he departs for his last resting place.
What do you think that moment, laying your eyes on him, does, that which it did to you as well as you went past? In other words, what difference do those few seconds make, do you think?
Two emotions went through. One is just a sign of gratitude and honor to have known this man and to serve under his leadership. And secondly, just to have the courage to walk in his footsteps in realizing and fulfilling the dream of this great nation.
Do you think that's something you would not have experienced had you not had the opportunity, albeit a few seconds, of seeing him lying in state, quiet and beautiful, as you say?
That image I'll take forward for the rest of my life. I knew him, I met him a few times, but today was the final closure. And I said goodbye to one of the greatest leaders that walked this planet. And it is a huge privilege, and I just wish everybody can have that opportunity to come and pay respect to Tata Madiba. He would have enjoyed it. And maybe I saw a smile on his face of saying thank you that you came.
But what drove that desire to actually want to make sure that today you came here and did what you've just done?
On 27 April 1994, when he was inaugurated here as the first democratically elected president of the country, and he made the speech here behind us, I was in the crowd. And that day I cried like a child because Tata Madiba freed me as well from my past, and he freed me to become a member of this nation and to build in this history of our country and to be part of the history making that we still have. Huge responsibility. And what I saw today is just an encouragement to carry on with this task, to bring the nation together, to build a unified nation, and to take this forward and to make the nation as great as his vision was of a people united, the Rainbow Nation.
When you say he freed you from your past, are you talking about our collective past as a nation, where we're coming from, colonialism and apartheid and so on, or are you talking about your past at a deeply personal level? At
a deeply personal level. My father served in the previous government, and I realized the injustices that apartheid did to the humanity of many thousands of people, and the freedom that Tata Madiba gave us for the majority of the people in this country. He also gave to the oppressors to forgive, to apologize, and to build with the wonderful people of this Rainbow Nation. That's a freedom that I received nearly 20 years ago. And I finally greeted the man today that gave me personally that freedom, as well as other people of the minority groups.
Is it something, would you say, that perhaps you may not have gotten were it not for him or people like him?
He played a major role in that. The icon leader he was, the peacemaker, the person who never got embittered, who studied his oppressors, who went to the Rugby World Cup, who unified the people. And that was his wish for a freedom of all our people, but also for our nation to be unified. And that is an ideal that we should never, ever let go of. And now our task begins to walk in his footsteps, to fulfill the dream that he had of this nation. The task is not completed. We have still bridges to build and to walk across those bridges. And the task is continuing. And that was a wonderful opportunity and a challenge for all of us.
Now, where do you see your particular role, in other words, as one person, that which will hopefully add to another person's and another person's and so on and so on? What are you taking as your own personal commitment to making sure that that dream that Madiba spent so many years fighting for, ensuring that it happens eventually, what is going to be your personal responsibility and contribution in realizing that dream?
As long as I'm a member of parliament, I will continue to strive for good governance, make good laws, and to inform our people about the decisions of government, and to fight corruption, to have the moral high ground of clean governance, of good, solid leaders of our government in a official capacity. And in a private capacity, I will talk about this experience. I will talk to my friends and my fellow comrades of how important it is that we build together and we stick together as a unique nation in this southern point of Africa. Because what we're working on is not solving the racial question and racial harmony. If we do that, like Toynbee said, we will also solve the problem of mankind, and we will solve the problems of the world. Like what happened yesterday with two heads of state that haven't shaken hands for more than 50 years, did it yesterday through Tata Madiba. And that's a legacy that he left us. And we never should drop that ball and carry on to fulfill his dream.
Now, admittedly, it's not a majority view, but there is a tiny minority within the white community especially who continue to fear that with Madiba's departing from this world, things may get worse. What would you say to them, especially those who share the same background perhaps as you?
That never came to happen since Tata Madiba passed away. And I just wish they will also realize they've also been freed by Madiba. And once they've experienced that, to come back into the fold and to come and build for a United Nations. That the emotional outpour since December the 5th is just overwhelmingly. And there's no, in my mind, it's no way that you can not be touched, deeply touched, by the legacy of this great icon and leader. And the majority of our people feel the same. And the majority of our people want to build together for a better South Africa and a better government. People living, sharing together for the better.
Dr. Koronov, thank you very much for sharing your experience there, but also some of your thoughts about our future as a nation built on the principles and ideals that Madiba lived and died for. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for you.
Dr. Gerard Koronov, a member of Parliament, sharing his views with us, his experiences, but also his thoughts about our country and our nations, but also his aspirations. Well, if you've just joined us, you're watching a live broadcast of people coming to see Madiba as he lies in state. We're coming to you live from the Union Buildings, the seat of government here in Pretoria. Members of the public, including public servants, are currently going past his coffin, having a view, standing for a few seconds to have a look at his face, and then going past. This is going to continue until 5:30. It's going to continue again from 8 o'clock till 5:30 tomorrow and on Friday. Everyone is welcome to come and pay their respects.
Thank you. All of the best. Thank you. I hope it's okay.
Well, thanks there to Dr. Coroner for sharing with us his experience. The first person we're speaking to who has gone through that experience. We're going to bring you a lot more people. We do have Griselda Lewis on the other side of the Union buildings. She will be talking to some of the people who have gone through that experience. Sis Nokolo is here. She will also be chatting to some of the people who will have gone through that experience.